So it was constructed with Legos, it was constructed with paper clips, it was constructed with clothespins. It had all these different elements of things. When we would walk around the set, it was like, oh my God, look at that, look at that, look at this, look at that.
Hold on, you gave her wings?
And blasters.
Just wanted to kind of start off with a quick question. I mean, obviously, we expect you to come in. We're going to see you in Avengers 4, but was a part of you bummed that you weren't a part of Avengers Infinity War?
I was watching it, thinking like, wow, there's this really great party going on, and I guess my invitation got lost in the mail. Right. There's always this, FOMO, is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly, fear of missing out, exactly, yeah. So, I mean, especially imagine just on Pinewood, like just a few meters away from you filming, so, yeah.
It's like, I know they're over there.
Right.
Ant-Man and the Wasp teaming up.
Follow my lead.
She seems more intense.
So as you were getting back into this role, I'm curious just how you reflected on the first Ant-Man and kind of the journey that Hope took, and how you just kind of used that to motivate where you wanted Wasp and Hope Van Dyne to go in this movie.
That was what I spent the most time doing, preparing for the film and during the film. So I love this question because it really was the most important element. Was who was she at the beginning of Ant-Man? Who was she at the end of Ant-Man? Because there was so much emotional growth that went on because of the healing between her and her father. And then also because she finally got to take on the mantle that has been her lifelong dream and aspiration. And she's been living as a team with her father, reunited, connected, partnered, and living this mantle, being the Wasp for years before we actually start the Ant-Man and the Wasp film. So how do I show you that? I mean, we don't get to talk very much about it because we have to get into the movie and the action. And so I spent a lot of time contemplating that. And what was really important to me was that you saw that she had softened, that she wasn't as cold and hard as she was in the first film because she had healed.
Yeah. She's still a little mad at Scott, but
she's mad at Scott for other reasons,
well,
though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this is like a whole new that was also like, how do you differentiate between I think you suck, I think you're incapable, I don't know why you're here and we don't need you, versus I loved you with all my heart, something went awry, my heart got broken, and now I'm mad at you. Well, I don't, things aren't good. Like right. That's a totally different tone to play, and making sure that they didn't look the same. Mm-hmm. That was a challenge.
Absolutely.
It provided a lot more freedom this go-round because, when doing the first one, there was the initial, wait a minute, he's playing a superhero?
Sure.
And so going into it, we weren't really sure where on the scale the comedy would be, or like, are people going to buy me in this role, or people with the action and the and we needed to kind of take the temperature there in the post-production and say, like, all right, let's modulate this and see where it is. In Civil War, Russo's really leaned into the humor of the guy, and seemed to work. And now it's like the audiences know these characters, and so we don't have to kind of lay the foundation of any of the backstory or anything really. So we felt, all of us, I think, a real freedom to, like, let's just try and make this funny, and we know that I have a relationship with my daughter. Now let's see how he's trying to juggle being Ant-Man and being a parent and the conflict there. And Hope's character has drastically grown, and so it's it's kind of nice because you can hit the ground running a little bit sooner.
Oh, that on the carriage is filthy.
They got bigger problems.
I just wanted to ask about the scene where you channel Janet, and just doing that scene with obviously Michael and Evangeline.
Yeah, well, we knew going in it was kind of a big swing. Like, is this gonna work? Let's try it. I loved the idea of it, and while it's like, if you could pull this off and still be emotionally engaged and buy it in some weird way, then it could work. There's the practicality of filming it, and there's, as I'm tenderly putting my hand on Michael Douglas's cheek and staring into his eyes, that we're both like, come on. But yeah, I think the first thing, we just kept referring it to as as the all of me scene.
Yes, there you go. That's perfect. And I mean, I obviously visited the set last year, and I was just amazed by the Hank Pym set, the lab, which was just, I mean, filled with so many crazy cool details. I'm curious if you just have a favorite thing that people may not see their first time seeing the movie.
Oh, the thing about that lab is that I think everyone will miss. I mean, maybe, we'll see. I didn't notice it my first time seeing the movie, even though I knew what to expect and I'd been in the lab, was that it was constructed with so many small things that had been enlarged. So it was constructed with Legos, it was constructed with paper clips, it was constructed with clothespins. It had all these different elements of things. When we would walk around the set, it was like, oh my God, look at that, look at that, look at this, look at that. And I actually have a picture of myself from behind the scenes where I'm holding a giant bread clip, a giant bread clip, and I'm just sticking my head through the bread clip hole. It was so cool. That set was amazing.
It really, really was one of the coolest I've ever seen. Unfortunately, I'm out of time, but it was great talking with you so briefly, right?
Thank you for your great questions.
Absolutely, it was great seeing you.